Hello everyone, welcome back to Help for Code eLearning. Now we are going to discuss about the for loop. Okay, so for loop I will explain by practically. We will take a multiple example to understand a for loop. But first of all, I just want to give you the example why we require the for loop. Means why this? What is the use of this looping statement? So this looping statement like for loop, while loop is also called as a iterative statement, repetitive. Okay, so whenever we have to execute any statement repeatedly for certain level of condition, so we use the looping condition. For example, if I have to print, just I'm writing here, if I have to print the hello world 5 times, so what is the way? The first way is that you know that we can use the print statement and we can write down the 5 time print statement, right? Means inside of this hello world, inside of this print statement, we will take the hello world and I'll just copy this line and 5 times if I'm going to print, so we will get the hello world as a output. But the question is that if I'm going to use this 5 times, so we will get the 5 times hello world. If I have to print hello world 500 times, then what is the solution? If I have to print the 500 times this hello world, means if you're going to write this print statement 500 times, it is going to be considered as a wrong practice, or we can say that a very uh, bad way to write the code, because you're writing the same thing and automatically one thought will come to our mind that is there any solution if I'm going to write this particular statement one time and 500 times automatically the cycle will execute or something will happen. Means this type of thoughts will come to your mind that is there any way that we can write down this statement only one time and we put the condition 500 and according to that it should print a 500 times hello world. Means based on the conditions how many times this statement we have to print, that is going to be decided. So what I want to say here exactly guys, this is what actual problem. Sometime you require to print the same statement, to execute the same statement repeatedly, for multiple times for certain defined condition. So to overcome this kind of issue, to overcome this kind of problem, we have the looping statement. Okay, because here I'm writing this 5 times, even this is also not acceptable. The same statement I'm writing a 5 times. So instead of that, we can use the for loop. So we have the for loop, we have the while loop. So interviewer will ask you the question when we should go for the for loop, when we should go for the while loop. It's a very simple answer. When you know the exact condition, when you know the number of condition, that how many iterations you have to perform. You have to perform the 5 iteration. You have to print the hello world 5 times. Means the range is given. When the range is given, go for loop, means go and use the for loop. And when the range is not given, when you don't know how many times of iterations you have to perform, then you can go for the while loop also. So right now we are just using the for loop. Okay, so for I in, I'm going to use the range function. In is our membership operator. This is already we have covered. So if I'm going to put here, if I have to print the hello world from 5 times, so what I'll give exactly, I'll give from 1 to 5. I'll just provide a condition like from 1 to 5. So 1 means it is going to start from 1. Okay, and instead of 5 I'm going to write down here a 6. Why I'm writing here 6? Because if the stop condition, okay, like if I have to print the hello world 5 times, so it is going, 1 means it is the initialization, as like in C or in CPP you have seen the syntax of for loop. So for I'm just writing the syntax of for loop in C language or C++ language. So initialization, then semicolon, we have the condition, then after the condition, we have the updation. Updation means the increment or decrement. Okay. So that is we write in the we use in the C and CPP or Java, right? But here the same thing we are following. The first part, the first whatever the number, whatever the value you're initializing, that is the initialized value. Means it is going to start from the 1. Okay, and 1 is going to be assigned to this variable I. So I is a variable, right? So for I in, and this membership operator will check that this value of I is lying in this range or not. So 1 is a starting point, 6 is a stop point, right? So 6 means it is going to stop at the 5. Just we can say that one step before, right? So it is going to stop at 5. So if you have to print the hello world 5 times, you have to take the stop point 6. If you have to print the hello world 4 times, then you can take the stop point 5. So it is depend on that, right? So I'm just going to write here the print hello world, right? This is what I'm writing here. I'll show you a different ways. First of all, just check this one. Okay, so hello world, and you can check here. If you count, so it is going to print from 1 to 5. Okay, it is going to count. If you count this, so you will get the 5 times hello world right now here. Okay, the similar way, in the similar way, what we can do exactly, I just want to print right now. I don't want to give any value. I just don't want to provide the value. I have given only 6. So what will happen exactly? Now you will ask, or you will say, sir, in the variable of I, we will have the value 6. No, this 6 is the stop. It is the condition. Okay. So by default, your I will have the value that is a 0. Okay. If I'm going to write here I, what will happen exactly? I means it will have the by default value 0, and it will check 0 is present, means 0 is less than 6. Condition is true. Come inside, print the 0. Again, it will go for the next iteration. Now the value of I will be 1. Initial value is 0. Initial value of I is 0. It will check 0 is less than 6. Condition is true. Come inside, print the 0. It will go for the next iteration in the cycle format, right? So it will go for the next iteration, and the next iteration automatically by default sequentially it is going to increment by 1. So the value of I will be 1 right now. It will check 1 is less than 6. Condition is true. It will come inside, print the 1. In the next iteration, the value of I is going to again increment by 1. So 2. The value of I will be 2. It will check 2 is less than 6. Condition true. Come inside, print the 2. Again, it will go for the next iteration. The value of I will be 3. It will check 3 is less than 6. Condition is true. Come inside, print the 3. It will go for the next iteration. In the next iteration, sequentially, it is going to be incremented by 1. So the value of I will be 4. It will check 4 is less than 6. Condition is true. Come inside, print the 4. It will go for the next iteration. In the next iteration, again, the value of I will be incremented by 1. So that is a 5. 5 is less than 6 means in the range. It is checking it is below the range or not. Okay. So 5 is less than 6. Condition true. Come inside, print the 5. It started from 0 and it is going to stop in the 5, because in the next iteration, when the value of I will be 6, when the value of I will be 6, 6 is not less than 6. Okay. It is not below the 6. So this time the condition is going to be false. If I'm going to run here, we just check the output. So what output we are getting? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we have not initialized the value here, if I have just given the single value, that single value is considered as a condition. It is considered as a condition, not initialization. So by default, it is going to initialize by the 0. If you are not providing initial value, then it is going to start from the 0. But if you're providing an initial value, right? If you're providing the initial value like 1 comma 6, so 1 is the initial value as per this syntax initialization, like 1 is the initial value. Now I will not have the default value 0, it will have the value 1, right? And it will start from the 1. Then it will check 1 is less than 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sequentially. It is actually in Python, the Python for loop executes sequentially, so it increment by default by 1 also, right? Let me check that it is starting from 1 or not. So you can check here like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as I have said, right? It is going to start from the 1. Now your question will be, sir, if we have to decrement the value or we want to increment the value, so how it is going to be done? From 1 to I have given a condition 11, means 1 to 10 I have to execute, and I want to increment by 2 or by 3. So what is the way? So in C and C++, you know that the third part after the semicolon, after the condition, the third part is basically keep it for the increment or decrement. So you can decide increment or decrement. Right now we are deciding to increment by 2. So again, just put the comma and write down the 2. No need to put any increment or decrement operator, means plus plus minus minus, because Python doesn't support the plus plus minus minus operator. Okay, that is limited to your C, C++. So here means in Java also, right? So what I want to say here, guys, that this is right now going to start from 1, and it will check 1 is less than 11. It will print the 1. In the next iteration, when it will go for the next iteration, then 1 is going to increment by 2, because you have given the increment value that is the 2. So 1 plus 2 is 3. And then it will check 3 is less than 11. Condition is true. Come inside, print the 3. Then again in the next iteration, 3 is going to increment by 2. So 3 plus 2 is 5. It will check 5 is less than 11. Condition is true. Come inside, print the 5. Again in the next iteration, the 5 is going to increment by 2. So it is a 7. 7 is less than 11. Condition true. It will come inside, print the 7. Again in the next iteration, 7 plus 2, 9. It will check 9 is less than 11. Condition is true. Come inside, print the 9. Again in the next iteration, 9 plus 2, 11. But 11 is not less than 11. So condition is going to be false here, right? Condition is going to be false here. If I'm going to print this, you can check, we are getting 13579. This is the value we are getting right now, 13579, right? This is what our increment order right now we are getting. If I'm going to put the value 3, so now this time it is going to increment by 3. Okay, so let's assume your value this time. I'm leaving it on you guys. Just pause the video and check what output you will get. You will get if you're incrementing by 3. Okay, let's run. Now you are getting a 14710, right? And now you are looking to print the value in the decrement order, like you are looking to print from 5 to 1. So initial value should be 5. Okay, no need to put any greater than less than symbol. And condition should be 0. Why? Because you are looking to print from 5 to 1. So 1 is greater than 0. So obviously the base condition will be 0, right? Then you have to decrement the value. How you are going to decrement the value? That is also the question. How will you decrement the value? So 5 0, you have to decrement the value. By default it increments sequentially. So for decrement you have to use the, because see, the first block is reserved for initialization. We have initialized the value of I as a 5 and the condition has given 0. Now the condition here increment, instead of increment we have to do a decrement. So I'm just going to write here -1 because I just want to decrement by 1. Sequentially it is going to decrement by 1. So now the value of I, initial value of I is a 5. It will check 5 is greater than 0, condition true, come inside and print the 5. Again, it will go for the next iteration. In is your membership operator, as I have already mentioned. It will check in the range because we are checking the value in the range, understand? Okay, right now we are decrementing. In case of decrementing also, we are checking the value in range. So in the next iteration, the value of I is going to decrement by 1. So it is a 4 because we have given the -1. So again, it will check 4 is greater than 0, condition is true, come inside, print the 4. In the next iteration, the value of I is going to decrement by 1. So it is a 3. Okay, because we have given the -1 as a decrement. 3 is greater than 0, condition is true. It will come inside, print the 3. Then in the next iteration, the value of I is going to be decrement by 1. So it is a 2. 2 is greater than 0, condition is true. So come inside, print the 2. In the next iteration, the value of I is going to be decrement by 1. So it is a 1. It will check 1 is greater than 0, condition is true. Come inside, print the 1. In the next iteration, the value of I is going to be decremented by 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. Now 0 is not greater than 0. So condition is going to be false. It will not come to the for loop block, right? When the condition is false, it will not come to the block. So it should print from 5 to 1, right? It should print from 5 to 1, like 5 4 3 2 1. As similar as like if you are looking to decrement the value by 2, so instead of -1 you can write down -2. If you're looking to decrement the value by 3, so you can write down -3. It is completely depend on that from where you are looking to start the value, right? You're looking to print from 10 to 1 or something else, that is you can try. So it's a very simple range. Let's print the table of 2. So I'm going to start from 1, and the 1 is a starting point. Okay, because I'm not going to start from the 0, because if I have to print the table of 2, the logic says that we have to do a multiplication. So if you multiply any number by 0, you will get the 0. So that's why we have taken the 1, means it should start from the 1. And 11 is the condition stopping point. So you know that if the value of n is 11, it is going to stop at n-1 position, means at 10. So right now the value of I is 1. And what is the logic? Very simple. If you multiply, see, this loop is going to run from 1 to 10, है ना? Because the right now the value of I is 1. 1 is less than 11. Condition is true. Come inside, it will print the 1. In the next iteration, sequentially, it is going to by default increment by 1. So the value of I will be true. Okay. And 2 is less than 11. So similarly, after each and every iteration, after every iteration sequentially, it is going to increment by 1. So it will print 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, because we have given the range till 11. Now if you multiply any number from 1 to 10, you will get the table of that particular number. Like if you try, if you multiply 2 from 1 to 10, so you will get the table of 2. Everybody knows this logic. And this I will hold after each and every iteration. The value of I will be changed. First time the value of I is 1, it will check 1 is less than 11, come inside, okay? And I'm going to multiply by the 2. So 1 I means the value of I is a 1. So just consider 1. 1 into 2, 2. In the next iteration, the value of I is going to increment by 1. So it is a 2. 2 is below the range of 11, condition true, come inside, 2 2 is a 4. In the next iteration, the value of I will be 3. It will check. The 3 is less than 11, condition true, come inside. 3 twos are 6. In the next iteration, the value of I will be incremented by 1. So it is a 4. It will check 4 is less than 11. Condition true. Come inside. 4 twos are 8. Then in the next iteration, it is going to be incremented by 1. So 5. 5 is less than 11. Condition true. 2 fives are 10. Means what I want to say, that understand the logic and understand first of all the looping concept. Do a practice as much as possible. Only practice will make you perfect on this particular subject. Okay. So do a practice. Try to think in the different direction. That is what I want to say here. Right. So let's run the code. And if you check here, we are getting the table of 2. Okay. You can check. Yes. Hmm. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, right? The table of 2. So this is the way that how you're going to print the table of 2. Similarly, you can try another logic also. This is just, I want to give you the exact overview about that, how these looping systems work, and in Python especially. Just remember, whenever you know the range, you have to use the for loop, right? Okay, so thank you guys. We'll see you in the next lecture with a different loop, that is a while loop.